Hello and welcome to Speak Up, a program brought to you by Fat Corner. As we know, Speak Up provides a platform for us to discuss social and psychological issues that are facing you and I and the world, and in Africa to be precise. Are you sad, depressed, weary, confused? Then speak up. Let us help each other find answers and a way forward. I am Kimi Episine Oguniye, and today I'll be speaking on harassment that stems from our workplace or for job seekers that are looking for a new job. We could kind of say it is discouragement that comes from our workplace or discouragements that are thrown at us while we're looking for a new job. And how do we deal with the fear that comes from that? For me, the first and foremost, to be able to deal with harassment is actually knowing that you're being harassed, is knowing what is harassment is and that you're being harassed. Simply put, harassment is where someone creates an atmosphere that makes you feel uncomfortable. This could be because you're offended, you're intimidated, or you're humiliated. Unfortunately, harassment is quite common, and the victims are not all female, and the perpetrators are not all male. So it is not really one gender only that suffers this. It is both genders. Some of the victims of harassment are also males, and the perpetrators could be your boss, a co-worker, a customer, regardless of their gender, are potentially guilty of harassment. So let us take a look at some of the forms of harassment that comes up. One of them is racial harassment. This is where we become harassed because of our race, our skin color, or our ethnicity. And this is where we're looking at what tribe are you from? Are you from that same area or you're from a different area? And that is what now becomes the basis to which you're being treated in the office or the basis to which we will be used in getting a job. Another form of it is gender-based. It's where this discriminatory behavior is towards a person that is based on their gender. Is where negative stereotypes are put where either you're giving this job because you're a female and because, oh, this job is for females. So a male who can actually do the job, who knows what it takes to do the job, is not going to be offered that job because they're male, will not be given the job, will not be given those opportunities. Or where a male nurse, for example, is being harassed because they think you're doing a female job and people throw derogatory comments at that. Or where a female who is doing some jobs, maybe like carpentry or some of these other jobs that are considered that they are male jobs, is being put down or will not be employed when they come looking for those positions because this job is male. Or a female who is not going to be promoted in a workplace because they think, oh, as a female, she's not leader material. All of these are gender-based discriminations or harassment that takes place, and they should not be so. Another of it is the religion harassment, religious harassment, where people say, oh, because you're not a Christian, or because you're not a Muslim, or because you believe in some of these things, or you belong to this religious group. And so because of that, we don't really want people of those religious group in our establishment. And then you're put down, or you're working in that place, but you're not going to be promoted because you're not a Muslim or you're not a Christian. And I'm sorry to say that that's quite common, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, for example, where in the northern parts, people who are not really Christians are not given the same opportunities because they are Christians. They rather want to keep the Muslim brothers, and that shouldn't be so. What should matter in workplace is what we have to offer. Another of it is simply personal harassment, where it's bullying of its highest form, where somebody just thinks because they're in a higher position than you are, then they have to bully you. It is so bad, where people just think they need to give inappropriate comments, offensive jokes, humiliate you, criticize you in every bit and corner they can find. Even when you're doing the best job, they just want to put you down because they're superior or because you're the customer and the customer is always right. All of that shouldn't be so. Or you'll be ostracized because they just think they are better than you. That shouldn't be so. And that's another form of harassment. And then the one that I really want to hit on is the sexual harassment. Sexual harassment, simply put, is harassment that is sexual in nature. It includes unwanted sexual advances, conduct, or behavior. This normally comes in a quid pro quo form of stuff where it is this for that. I'm only going to give you this if you give me this. It is not what you have to offer as a worker or as your intelligence or your qualifications. No, but what you have to offer sexually is what now matters. This comes where maybe you go for a job interview and the person in front of you is saying that, oh, if you can meet me in so and so hotel, or if you could do this for me right here, then the job is yours. Or sometimes they don't even come out clearly to state it, they just imply it. And all of this is not supposed to be so. When I go for a job, I should be employed because of what I have on my head and not because of what I could offer, or for promotion, or for a raise, or for that opportunity that pops up in the workplace where someone should have been given an opportunity to advance their career, but you'll be put down because you've not given sexual favors, and that should not be so. Or even to avoid termination. Someone who is not doing their job well should be let down. It shouldn't be because they will sleep with you, then you're going to keep them in that job, even though they are not doing well. What that means is that you're eventually affecting the productivity of that company in general. And that's why that needs to stop. One of the dangers of it is that we employ people who are not qualified for the job. Instead of looking at their CV or speaking to them and know what they can offer, we then are looking at employing them based on the things that we think matters, like their race, their skin color, their ethnicity, or what sexual favors they can offer. That should not be. And so we employ people who are not qualified. Another danger of this is the fact that it builds fear in each and every one of us. And when people become afraid, they are not able to put their best foot forward. They become afraid, and this stems into other areas of their life. Another danger is low self-esteem in people. You're no longer wanting to promote or push yourself because you think you're not good enough. That is one of the things that needs to stop. That is one of the dangers of what this harassment comes. And another of it is low productivity at work. And that comes from having low self-esteem. When I have low self-esteem, when I am afraid at my work, then I would not put in the best, and my productivity at work will be low. And the worst that beats on is the fact that that company, that organization no longer grows. The organization doesn't get better. The nation doesn't get better. And that fits into the economy of the nation. We are crying about how bad our economy is. This is because of all of this that is going on. And how can we deal with it? How can we deal with it? Number one, like I said, know that you are being harassed. Once you know that you're being harassed, once you know that that situation is an harassment, that is the first step to dealing with it. Number two of dealing with it is do not accept it as a norm. Females are accepting that they need to offer sexual favors to get that job. It is not a norm. Let us aim for zero tolerance to being harassed, to be rich and discriminated, to be sexually discriminated or racially discriminated. Let us say no to it. Once I don't accept it as a norm, once I put my foot down, it means that that employer or that boss or that manager is not going to do it. And the thing is, if every one of us begin to put our foot down, if I say no, you say no, then we're building a nation that would work, because it is no longer a norm. So employers will no longer be expecting that. The reason it keeps building is because if I say no, someone else will say yes. So they can toss me aside and go for who would say yes. So let every one of us play our part by saying no. Another thing we need to do is build your self-confidence. If you are confident and know who you are, that I am more than what this person says, then I am not going to accept when he tries to pull me down because of things that do not matter. Another one is make yourself indispensable. I like that word. If you're in a company or your CV is so bulky enough that they know that they need you, whether you fit into the box they want to fill, or you give any sexual favor, you are going to be employed because you are indispensable. because they know that you are very good at it. There is evidence of your work. So that is what people need to do. Build on that. And another thing we need to do is report it. It keeps, I say this, the reason why it is rampant in Africa and not in other parts of the world is because people report it in other places. In Africa, we don't report it. Yes, I know we might say that even if I report it, what would they do? They might not do anything, but please, you need to report it. The more we report it, the more we push it to the limelight, the more decisions will be made to actually stop this from happening. And another thing is the fact that people need to speak up. Co-workers need to speak up for those that are being harassed. If someone is being harassed in front of you, please speak up. People are afraid of reporting it because they know no one is going to back them up. People are afraid of reporting it because they are going to be standing on the alone. But if someone is going to stand in their corner, then they are going to report it. And then finally, every relevant stakeholders, employers of labor, bosses, managers, our lawmakers, the government, we need to put up policies and procedures to stop this. I would report someone harassing me because I know that it will be stopped and there will be a way out of it. This thing keeps happening and it's feeding on our nation and our growth of the economy because there are no laws to support workers when they are harassed or discriminated upon. I want us to build this. This is all we're saying. Report it, people. And please, policymakers, government, lawyers, let there be laws to protect people. Let there be laws to protect our workers. Then we're going to build a nation that is strong to withstand and be a competitor out there. Help is out there. You just need to speak up and demand for it. You are more than what you're being thrown at. Know who you are and use that to your advantage. Thank you so much for listening, and feel free to reach us or send us your story by emailing us at info@fatcorner.org or visit our Facebook or YouTube page at fatcorner.org. Until I see you again, bye for now.